birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have brought your fiddles to town. We are at Kentucky Speedway for Goat Locker with the Truck Series presented by Relevant. It's going to be an awesome race here this evening, and we got some of Goat Locker's best in the field, and we're going to bring it to you live here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got Dean Hopton Biggles, the Australian, up here in the booth. Going to be doing a little co-commentating and also giving you the fantastic camera angles and the fantastic scenes that you see each and every damn week here on this Thursday night with Goat Locker. We are at Kentucky. As I mentioned about the fiddle, we are at Kentucky, the bluegrass state, the mile and a half that NASCAR doesn't run on anymore, and quite frankly, I'm not sure why, because honestly, folks, I love this racetrack right here. This track has got a lot of characteristics in it. It's got a lot of characteristics in turn 1 and 2, where you got to be very, very careful going through there. It's real banked up and it's real steep. You get over in 3 and 4, not as steep as it would be in 1 and 2, more or less kind of flat, I guess you could say. But this track is wide. Very, very wide. You can easily go 3, 4, and maybe even 5 wide, especially down the front straightaway. And you can easily go 4 wide going into turn 3. In this place, it is fast. It is very, very fast. So, very unfortunate that this track is not on the NASCAR schedule anymore. But with Goat Locker, we're happy to see it here. And Dean, bring you in here, baby. What you feeling about Kentucky? Love this place right here.
Hello, Jacob. Hello, everybody. Absolutely. I think it's a great racetrack. I'm very surprised when you said it wasn't even on the NASCAR calendar. But speaking of calendars, my friend, there's you just see the 76 machine of Mark Hollifield make a little mistake. And speaking of mistakes, my friend, you know, I've been watching the practice session earlier, of course, as we're setting everything up for the broadcast. Drivers it was quite good and clean. And that always, to me, there's an indication of how races are going to be when you don't have drivers just, you know, having lots of trouble, things like that all over the track. And that comes of open wheel racing and also oval racing. Here's your calendar, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, you see it right there. When we started at Talladega, went to Charlotte, then we went to Atlanta, which last week was a hell of a race. I mean, Jeremy Gardner, Big Daddy, as his nickname is now with Goat Locker, and he pretty much showed why his nickname is Big Daddy. He was able to get the win last week by 4 1/1000ths of a second in a photo finish, damn near identical to 23 years ago, Dean, when Kevin Harvick beat Jeff Gordon at the same track. And ironically enough, Kurtz was running almost the identical same paint scheme that Jeff Gordon ran that particular day, the DuPont Chevrolet looking paint scheme. So, but I mean, it was a hell of a race in Atlanta. And obviously, you know, I guess you could say the Thursday night series, to a certain extent, Dean, they were criticized for just how many cautions there was at Charlotte, some of them being criticized for some of the racing that was happening at Talladega. And, I mean, I don't know, but the way that I look at it, Patrick Dravick, Jamie Barkas, and Jake Allenson, all the guys, they literally got everything figured out. I mean, they probably went in there and told them that they needed to figure it out pretty quick. And guess what? They did last week, and they had a fantastic race at Atlanta. And I got a feeling we're going to see the same style of racing here tonight at Kentucky, because it's like I said, we got some of the best right here at Goat Locker, and they're going to be right here at Kentucky Speedway here this evening.
And we've got the best fans out there too. Shasta out there supporting her man, who's currently George Jewell in P7. We got Nathan Fox out there. Hello, everybody, and go Craig, the number 49 machine, who, mind you, at the moment has provisional pole. He's not on the track at the moment. We have a few more drivers for the remaining part of our qualifying session. So, yep, you got the support of Craig Starr, and I think that's practically wrapping everything up at the moment there, Jake. So it's time to go motor racing.
Yeah, Dean, I think you kind of spoiled the surprise right there. We was going to go ahead and throw it up there, but you know what? Screw it. Qualifying's over with. Here is the results of qualifying. Here's where everybody's going to start. And just as Dean mentioned, Craig Bontrager is going to start on the pole with a 30.374. Last week's winner, Jeremy Gardner, in the 42 is going to start to his outside. And both of those drivers, the only drivers to hit a 30.3. The rest of these guys was slower than that. Andy Kurtz, obviously, in that photo finish with Gardner last week at Atlanta, he's going to start in P3 with Timothy Wilms starting in P4. Peyton Hubbard is going to roll off in P5 with Jake Ellenson in the 27 rolling off in P6. Shasta's man, George Jules, going to roll off in P7 with Jamie Mullins sitting in P8. Zach Engel is going to be in 9th. Jeremiah Holt rounds out the top 10. Mike Browning's going to start 11th with James Goshen starting in 12th. Chance Taylor, a Goat Locker regular from last season in the ARCA series, is going to roll off 13th with Tyler Justice 14th. Logan Sturgeon will start 15th. Brandon Wallace 16th. Rusty Rafferty. That's a racing name for you. Rusty Rafferty will start in 17th with Kyle Plumstead at 18th. Dustin Hardy 19th, and Jason Kraft's going to start in 20th. James Kaufman's going to start 21st. John Anthony will be 22nd. Mickey Isaac 23rd. Mark Hollifield 24th, and Chris Smith's going to start in the 25th spot. Sam Milliken, Justin Klein, Cameron Wessenberg, and Johnny Cofield, the 29 drivers here tonight at Kentucky. Dean, we tried this last week in Atlanta, and I think I was a little bit too late on it. I think I asked you who your pick was to win it all at Atlanta, but the problem was I told you at halfway. So I get the opportunity now to be able to ask you before they even take the green flag. Who's your pick?
Oh, no. Well, my pick last night actually was the Australian driver, but unfortunately didn't start. We actually had an Aussie on the grid. Of course, I'm going to have to go for the Aussie. This time around, I think Andy Kurtz might get this one.
Okay, well, how about a dark horse? Because I had a feeling that's exactly where you was going to go. You was going to go with Andy Kurtz. I just had a damn feeling right there. But if you had a dark horse pick, somebody that we usually don't see up front, who you thinking?
Brandon Wallace, because he's in the chat. And I like he chats and drives. There you go. Brandon Wallace.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree with that one right there, Brandon Wallace. I'm going to look back here. We mentioned him starting in the 7th spot. I'm going with Shasta's man. I'm going to thank George Jewell. He may end up having something to say about all this when it's all said and done. George Jewell, I believe he is due for a podium, and I believe he's also due for a win as well. It's a beautiful night here at Kentucky Speedway, virtually 78 degrees in the air, 79 degrees for the track temp. I mean, just picture perfect. Hell, I don't see a cloud in the sky virtually. We keep saying virtually, obviously, because it's iRacing, but I don't see a virtual cloud in the sky here tonight. The next race for the Goat Locker Summer Truck Series presented by Relevant, fixing to get underway. They're getting right into that Geico restart zone. Bontrager and Gardner in the Geico restart zone. We're green flag. We got an official race. Bontrager gasses it up, jumps up to the top side. Here comes Kurtz down on the bottom side. He's not wasting any time, Dean. He's trying to go back to the lead.
I was just curious when you said virtual. I thought this is real for me. Sorry. Oops. It's real simulated racing, my friend. Exactly. So, as you're seeing, a little bit of a squabble of cars back there. There's your pick, of course, the Jewel, the Crown Jewels, out there a little bit further up there. But so far, so good. Just a little bit of a switcheroo between Andy and Jeremy for P2, P3, and then going 3 abreast at the back.
Yeah, we'll see how this works. Is now Gardner down to the inside of Craig Bontrager. He's going to go to the lead. He's going to try to go to the lead. He's not clear yet. Bontrager trying to get the run on the outside, but Kurtz is going to get clear. No, he's not. Bontrager is going to get back to his right rear. Here comes Gardner. Gardner looked like he was going to stick it 3 wide, but he thinks different of it. He's just going to try to follow the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet of Andy Kurtz. I cannot believe I just said that. They are still door-to-door coming to the line. Kurtz and Bontrager.
Yep, there we go. So good racing already, and touch wood, green flag racing too there, Jacob. So maybe my pick might be coming true at the moment, but hey, it's early days, my friend. We're 78 to go.
Now Kurtz is able to get clear. He's going to kick Bontrager back to second. Gardner still sitting in third. How about Peyton Hubbard sliding up here? He's getting himself into that fourth spot. Timothy Williams sitting back in fifth. He's in a side-by-side battle with, I believe that is Jamie Mullins. And Mullins able to slide back just a little bit. He took a shot, tried to make it work, and he wasn't able to make it stick. Jake Ellenson all the way up to the fifth spot right now, trying to see if he can reel in Hubbard. But Hubbard and all these guys, literally the top four, as Hubbard almost gets into the wall. Kurtz, Bontrager, Gardner, and Hubbard starting to check out. Check it out. There is guys dive bombing down to the inside, trying to make it stick, trying to advance, trying to get some track position right here, Dean. They're getting real aggressive, but clean, but they're getting really aggressive back here in this Hornet's Nest.
The Hornet's Nest, exactly. In the middle of this pack at the moment, you're seeing 2 abreast, 3 abreast at some point there, Jacob. And remember, we still have a nice little battle at the front of the pack there, because now there's a challenge. Jeremy Gardner and Craig trying to hunt down Andy, leading this one.
Here comes Gardner down to the inside. Bontrager up top. Kurtz trying to get all the clean air that he can get and just gas up and try to leave them in the dust. Gardner on the bottom. Bontrager up top. Here comes Hubbard. Hubbard tries to see if he can get some draft. Maybe suck right up to Gardner and maybe just try to shove him right by Bontrager, and both of them try to work together to get around the 49. But this 49 is really loving this middle lane, Dean. He has been able to use it time and time again, especially in 1 and 2, and obviously in 3 and 4, because half the time he's got somebody on his inside, but Gardner able to get clear this time. Bontrager thought about pulling the crossover move, not able to do it. He's going to try to keep it up top, and Hubbard may end up going with him.
Trying to shut the door, but didn't quite close it. You forgot to put the padlock on the door. Good chat out there. We got lots of chat. I got Mitch from the UK as well too. G'day, mate. Yes, exactly. Your favourite Aussie, and of course Doug and the Ellingson family are watching, and of course they're watching Jake currently in P5 too. But here we go. Eddie Kurt's still in the lead, but for how long?
We'll see how this works. I mean, Gardner was able to slip by Craig Bontrager just a little bit. I mean, obviously Bontrager, he put up a hell of a fight right there with Gardner. And Gardner's just tickled to death to lead the 49 in the dust. Now he's going to set his sights on Eddie Kurtz. Ironically, right now, Dean, both of these guys finished in that photo finish last week, as we see Hubbard on the top side trying to get a run and maybe slide right by Craig Bontrager. Your pole sitter, the 49, starting to slip back just a little bit. As he slips back into the 4th spot, Hubbard trying to get the run off the top of the quarter. Looks like he's going to get a little run, but at the same time, Bontrager got that inside lane, pretty much just stalled out right there for Hubbard. But Hubbard going to send it in very deep, and he is going to get clear of Bontrager, so put Hubbard up to 3rd, Bontrager back to 4th, and don't look now, Jake Ellenson not too far back, sitting in 5th.
Those walls are starting to get a little closer, lap by lap, of course. It's starting burning through those tyres. We're 72 to go, 9 down. Not too much of a change, a little bit of a change up front there. We still have a bit of a gaggle of cars still happening back at the moment there. So thank you, leaders. You give us a quick second to check out what's happening with the rest of the pack there, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, we got some serious battles going on back here. As you see Timothy Williams, literally, I mean, he's kind of been dropping like a rock, if you want to be honest. I mean, hell, Dean, he started in the 4th spot. He's already outside the top 15 as Jason Kraft was just able to squeak by Williams. Not real sure what's going on with Timothy Williams, and not real sure what these guys up here are thinking, but holy hell, we got some serious racing going on right here around the 10th spot right there. That's where you see your pick, Brandon Wallace, up here in the middle of this battle, trying to get going, trying to get something to happen right here. Matter of fact, excuse me, that's the battle for 19th. I kind of got it mixed up a little bit right there, but still, back here in the back, Dean, I mean, this is a hell of a battle. I mean, these guys are racing like it's the last lap, racing for the lead, and it's just inside the top 20.
This is a dingo's nest, not a hornet's nest, my friend. It's brewing up at the moment. You're gonna get a snake bite if you're not be careful at the moment. Are you ready to meet him? Is on the back of the 75 machine. Not sure who you're going to be meeting, my friend, but hopefully not the wall that some of these drivers may be. But further up at the moment, Jake putting some pressure currently at the moment. Craig and Jake, actually. I think Jake just got past Craig, so our pole setter dropping back to P5.
Absolutely slipping back ever so slightly. I mean, Dean Hill, he's been sliding back for quite some time, to be honest with you. that being your pole sitter of Craig Bontrager, sitting back in the fifth spot. The next guy that's going to end up getting to him is going to be Jamie Mullins. And Mullins doing a fantastic job right now. He started 8th. He's worked his way all the way up to 6th. Couple of big movers, though, we want to talk about here in the field with the likes of Tyler Justice in the 33. He started 14th. He's worked his way up to 9th. Chance Taylor started 13th. He's up to 10th. The guy behind them is up 7 spots right now. Kyle Plumstead, who started in the 18th spot, he's worked his way up to 11th. And that's the biggest movers that I'm seeing in the field so far. But the biggest dropper, we talked about him a while ago, Dean, that 86 of Timothy Wilms from 4th all the way down to 16th. Look at this battling right here in front of Kyle Plumstead, Chance Taylor. Tyler Justice not giving a damn coming off of turn 4. They are sending it. They're driving very, very hard right here on lap 14.
That's a take slapper, of course. That won't.
Yes.
That'll buff out. Don't worry about that. I'm seeing a driver that is that Jeremiah Holt that's just completely dropped out there. I think that may be a cat or something like that's ripped your internet cable out, unfortunately for that driver. But this is where the hot zone is currently at the moment, and this is getting close. When you get hood to what is it? Hood to bumper or something like that. We call it bonnets and stuff like that in Australia. But you can tell me there, Jacob.
Bumper to bumper. That's what we call it down south right there. Bumper to bumper or the hood pins, however you want to look at it. I mean, that's how tight they are right there. That's just how tight it was right there, just for a hot picking second right there. That's just how tight it was with the 22 of Plumstead. He literally had the hood pins of the guy that was on the back door of him literally up his tailgate. These guys racing very, very hard. You see the 75 back there. That's James Goshett, a veteran with the Veterans for Life ARCA series from last season. Done a fantastic job. Won at Richmond, Dean, and he was able to make it into the playoffs. So James Goshett up here doing a fantastic job riding right in behind Brandon Wallace. This is a hornet's nest. It's like I said, or a dingo's nest, as you was talking about, Dean. We'll go with a dingo's nest. By the way, after this, I might have to ask you what the hell a dingo is, because you just kind of blew my mind just a little bit, Dean. I have no idea where you went with that. But there you see Wallace. You got Goshett. You got Wilms back here. We talked about it, 4th to 17th. He may be trying to save some tire, Dean. What do you think?
I'd say so. It could be a strategy call. You mentioned that you're a race driver. That's up to you and the audience to ask that question too. I just made up Dingo's Nest. I've never even heard that before in my life. I just thought it kind of went with the flow currently at the moment for our relevant truck series. 18 of 80. 63 to go, Jacob. And are the tires going to stick is the question.
I mean, I think they will, at least for right now, Dean. I mean, obviously, it's an 80-lap race. Basically, what they're looking at, they got 4 sets of tires, excuse me. They got 1 on the truck, 3 in the pits. So, obviously, we say it each and every week, Dean. Obviously, they give us a very, very good even number each and every time, Dean. So, it kind of helps out to just say split it right down the middle. Most drivers may think a little bit different. Most drivers may think to try to leapfrog the driver that they're trying to race, especially like, say, maybe up front where Andy Kurtz and Gardner is. Maybe Gardner tries to go in early and tries to leapfrog Andy Kurtz late in the run. So we'll see how that ends up working out. But, I mean, folks, obviously, Andy Kurtz, he's got about a 0.3 of a second lead over Gardner, but we just cannot take our eyes off this battle back here that is right at the mid-pack back here, around 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Hell, they're all right there, Dean. I mean, this is a hornet's nest. These guys, hard racing right here, but very clean racing, being very respectful, at least right now.
I think you're right. I think you've got some serious pace in here, but they've got a lot of experience under their belt. And on top of it there, Jacob, you kind of think some of these drivers are not quite in the places. You got some door banging there. 25 and the 38 gets back into that one. But as I was going back to that one, Jacob, I've got to say, some drivers probably didn't get that qualifying performance in that they want, and they're speeding their way up to the field. We might have to go a little bit further up as well, too, because there is a battle brewing between our pole setter, who's currently under a bit of attack. Actually, that's Zach Engel, my apologies. That is under attack. And hey, start to close in Jeremy a little bit. You can see there on the telemetry, but Andy Kurt's still way out front.
Yeah, Andy Curtis is way out front. And I'll say this right now. I mean, that 38, we just saw it a while ago with James Kaufman and the 38 of Jason Kraft. Jason Kraft may be still trying to wonder what the hell just happened because Kaufman just straight up came down, door banged him very, very hard as you're seeing this battle up here for the third spot. Hubbard up here, Jake Ellingson has entered the conversation for the podium, and he slid right up there, and he straight up took it from Peyton Hubbard right behind him. He's got your pole sitter, Craig Bontrager, up here. All 5 of these drivers have literally separated themselves from Jamie Mullins. Matter of fact, the front 2 have separated themselves from a third-place truck, which is Jake Ellingson. Now, caution is on the Speedway. Johnny Cofield in the 97 is around, going into turn number 1, and oh, man, there was some contact.
No, Johnny, no! Well, then again, we had, hey, touch wood, we had 23 laps of fantastic green flag racing, so it was kind of inevitable when the tires start going off, and and when you see this, Jacob.
Oh, man, oh, Dean, I mean, that's tight right there. I mean, it looked like Cofield kind of held his line. I mean, he kind of came up a little bit, but the 00 John Anthony, he came down a little bit too. So I say they kind of met right there in the middle. I mean, hell, he was 3 wide. He had Kaufman down on the bottom. And, I mean, that's just tight racing right there. I mean, that's bound to happen. I mean, that could have happened in Kentucky. That could have happened last week at Old Atlanta. I mean, that could even happen next week when we go to our piece. So that's just a racing incident. I hate to see it for Johnny Cofield, but it does look like that he's able to drive back to the pits. He's got no back bumper cover, but obviously, like we've talked about, Dean, they have a faster pair available to their use.
Are they
You
going
see
in?
everybody going
Yeah.
in. Everybody's going.
We're going to wait to see who wins off the pit road before, of course, we go to pit stop there to thank our fantastic sponsors. I hope everybody's having a fantastic night. Tonight, 616 subscribers. Just the other day, we were just talking about getting 600, my friend. Now we're at 616. So thank you, the 23 and change that are watching this race. We do appreciate your supporting your family members, your friends, and everybody else. Battle for pit road right now. Who gets out first, Jacob? Ooh, I think Andy had to back up a little bit.
Well, we'll see right here. I mean, if Andy had to back up a little bit, this is going to open the door for Jeremy Gardner to be able to slide right by him. Obviously, you don't want to make any mistakes on pit road, but Kurtz is able to fire off. Ellingson almost ends up getting him at the line, but Kurtz is going to get it. Ellingson, Hubbard. That is the top 3 coming off of pit road, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Do not go anywhere. You're watching the Goat Locker Summer Truck Series presented by Relevant here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Folks, that very first ad that you saw, Premier Racing Setups. You need one? Y'all know where to go. PremierRacingSetups.com. Obviously, enter the code NASRA, N-A-S-R-A. You will get that 15% discount off your entire order. And also 15% gets kicked back to the North American Sim Racing Association. And Dean, we know how it ends up ending. If you want to race the setups that the Redneck Announcer races, go check them out PRS, PremierRacingSetups.com. And folks, we are back live here at Kentucky. Redneck announcer Jake Reeves with Dean Biggles hopped in up here in the booth. Pace car is off. Andy Kurtz, Jake Ellenson on the front row. Green flag in the air. Kurtz gets off. He's able to fire off very fast. And Hubbard is going to try to follow him. Jake Ellenson didn't get the best restart in the world. He's going to end up losing 3 spots right here. Then he lost it from Kurtz. He's going to lose it from Hubbard. He's probably going to lose it from Gardner. And better watch his back door because here comes Bontrager. He might try to take him.
Yeah, pole sitter at the moment. So it's currently running in P5. But it's all about that race restart, which Andy got nailed perfectly. Remember, Jacob, now we've squared everything. We're back to 0, back to the start of the race. Everybody's on the same boots, and that's how it is. So we got plenty of laps ahead of us, 53. Now, I mean, imagine we can go all the way to the end, my friend, on these boots. That's going to be tough. And gas. Can they do it?
I mean, that's going to be the tough one, honestly, Dean. I mean, obviously, you know, we talk a lot about the tire wear and all that good stuff. I don't see them being able to make it right here. I mean, it's tight right here. I mean, I'm thinking probably give or take maybe 48, 47. We'll, you know, give it about 47 to 50 laps, give or take, on a full tank of fuel here in these trucks. And, I mean, damn, I mean, Dean, it's close. So some guys may end up back there in the back, may end up thinking about clutching it, especially going into turn 3, maybe trying to save a little bit of fuel, maybe try to make it all the way to the end. And, I mean, it's going to be close right now. If they can make it, I'll be shocked because there ain't no way I'll be able to make it. And Bontrager trying to see if he can try to make it down to the inside with Jake Ellenson up top. But Bontrager is going to slide back a little bit as Ellenson is able to get clear, all clear. Up front, Andy Kurtz, Hubbard, and Gardner. They're the top 3, Dean. They're starting to pull away from the rest of the field.
We saw that at the start of the race as well, too. They start maintaining a little bit of gap, clean air, and they're not battling necessarily so much of other people. As you can see, the battle that just occurred there. So Jake maintaining our pole sitter, Craig, just that little bit. But further back, you've got a couple of eager participants that says, hey, I want to party, my friend. And you know what happens when the music stops? You're left without a chair.
Yeah, Dean, I mean, obviously, I mean, you would say, you know, I want to party. The way that I look at it, I would say I'm your Huckleberry. As some of these guys back here are thinking that that's just my game back there. Kyle Plumstead, one of those drivers. Also right up here, you got Gardner. He's wanting to try to get down on the inside, but he wasn't able to get the run, Dean. He's got to fall back in line behind Hubbard. Everybody kind of content right now from what I see, at least mostly through the top 10. I mean, that's really what I'm seeing right here, Dean. Mostly everybody very content, riding on the bottom side in 1 and 2, riding on the bottom side in 3 and 4. Nobody really getting crazy, except for maybe right behind them where Tyler Justice back there in a double wide deal with Brandon Wallace. 3 wide, Timothy Williams tries to stick it in there, but here comes Gardner with Hubbard for second.
I think you called it, my friend. I think you called it. Like, the drivers are driving responsibly. They're not, you know, sticking their nose in and getting it chopped off like a plastic surgeon too early into this one. They're getting at least a few belts. You know what it's like when under a restart, you get the tire temperature back in there, you start getting the groove, and then you start moving on with it. You start making these attacks. And these 2 drivers have clawed in Andy, our race leader, so far. So are they working together, Jacob, to say, Andy, 24, it's maybe not going to be your day here on lap 33?
Yeah, I mean, Dean, it's a possibility that both of them, you know, maybe working together. Gardner obviously drafting off of Hubbard, not trying to race him. Because if Gardner really wanted to have a shot, Gardner probably could have took a shot and probably tried to get around Hubbard. But obviously, I mean, Gardner has been up there. He's took a shot a couple times, tried to get up there and get the lead. And maybe he thinks he needs a little bit of help up there. So I think that's what he may be trying to do, is trying to stay with Hubbard, let Hubbard get the draft off of Kurtz, and then Gardner basically just fall in line, and both of them try to work together. But I'll say this, Ellenson, Bontrager, Mullins, and Angle, all these guys starting to ease up here and get a hold of this. Really, it was kind of, I guess you could say, separated out, at least before that caution, Dean. Now, I mean, you could literally look all the way back, at least through the top 10, top 9, I should say. all 9 of them literally are in a single file line, and all of them could be just ready to pounce at any point in time.
I want you to use that reference that you guys say, throwing a blanket over him. And at the moment, Jeremy may be throwing a blanket over Peyton. I think that's a bit of a call-up because these two gladiators have to realize at the moment there, because every single time they're battling, it's allowing the rest of the field to catch up, and they still haven't got past Andy. As Ray says that she's going to have a little attitude tonight. She's going to stay out of chat, but we love you, Ray. There's beef in the chat, my friend, and there's not so much beef on the track, just good, hard, serious pacing racing.
No, I mean, Dean, I disagree with Ray right there. If she's got attitude, yeah, bring it on in the chat. We love beef, Dean,
Yeah,
don't we?
love you,
We
Ray.
love beef. We love beef. And obviously, we love the Ellensons. We love each and every one of the fans out there. Shout out to all 24 of you out there having a good time here tonight on a Thursday night here with Goat Locker on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Obviously, we say it all the time. If you have not yet liked and subscribed to the NASRA 360 Racing Network, make sure that you do so. But also, try to multitask if you can, as we see a caution on the Speedway, looking back through the field, trying to find it, Dean.
Is
And
it Caulfield?
I believe it is Johnny Cofield, second time in a row. Yes, it is.
Oh, dear. Now, is this because he's in a pack, then we didn't have a chance to show that? No, he's got tagged a little bit there.
Oh,
That's just
man.
nothing in that, is there, Jacob?
Oh, man. I mean, that's tough right there. I mean, that's just a racing deal right there, Dean. I mean, Cofield kind of slid up a little bit. Kraft actually had the run. I guess you could say at the wrong time, if you want to put it that way. I mean, he kind of had the wrong time to slide up, and Kraft had the wrong time to actually get the run, and they just kind of met right in the middle. I mean, that's just a bad deal right there. I mean, you hate to see it for Johnny Cofield, obviously, because why? Cofield's already burned a faster pair, Dean. He burned that faster pair from the very first caution when he ended up getting basically right reared into the wall. So Cofield pretty much at a, I guess you could say, disadvantage from the rest of the field. We're going to see if they do indeed decide to pit before we end up going to commercial break, Dean, because obviously we want to give the fine fans out there, I mean, we want to be able to give them a good battle coming off of pit road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look at Jeremy as well, too. He's just trying to weave some temperature in the tyres. Some drivers do it, some drivers don't. Yes, they are. This is the thing, too. Andy's the one that has to make that call, doesn't he? Because it's kind of like follow the leader. And you're referring before to, I was going to say, Stuck in the Middle with You song as well. But let's see. Hopefully nobody gets stuck in the pit lane. And once again, who can get a jump on the drivers? Because this is crucial. This could be our last pit stop of the race day, Jacob. So make it count.
Yeah, I mean, you go with Stuck in the Middle with You. Hell, I'll look at it, obviously redneck announcer, and folks, don't judge me on this, but even Sugarland with country music stuck like glue. I mean, hey, I'm married. I've got a wife, Dean. That's the way
Everybody's
that I
in,
look
Jacob.
at it.
Oh!
So,
Has
as
Andy
when they
get
see
out?
a battle off, Andy may be able to get him. He's
Oh.
not going to be able to. Gardner not able to get there. Andy Kurtz is going to win the race off of pit road. And now, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, let you hear from some of our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. You've been watching Goat Locker here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Folks, we're back here at Kentucky Speedway. We're going to slide in here and see if we can jump down to the Veterans for Life chat. Bring up Big Daddy. Jeremy Gardner is sitting in second spot. Jeremy, hell of a race that we're seeing so far at Kentucky. What you thinking about it?
It's a different track. I've struggled here in the past. I'm not very good here. I mean, I'm running decent tonight. It's a decent track though. 1 and 2 is pretty easy to cruise through, but 3 and 4, if you overdrive it, it'll let you know you overdrove it. But no, I mean, it's going good tonight. I mean, what, 2 cautions? I mean, we're doing pretty good tonight. Everybody's running really good. I think everybody's giving each other room. So let's see how this thing shakes out. But I'm not gonna make it easy for Andy.
I mean, obviously, well, Dean, what I was going to say was it's kind of ironic right now that obviously both of y'all finished in that photo finish last week at Old Atlanta. And once again, y'all back up here battling for the lead. I mean, is that kind of ironic, or is that just kind of what you expected?
I mean, it's kind of to be expected. I mean, Andy's really fast. I mean, he's clean as well. I mean, me and him had a good race last night in the ARCA series as well. He spun me earlier on accident. It is what it is. I came back to finish the win, whatever. But no, I mean, Andy's really respectable on track. He's clean. He's fast. So it's hard to say. You know, he's up here with me.
Absolutely. Dean, you got anything for Jeremy?
I think he answered that one. You just got to catch Andy really the other day, isn't it, my friend, at this point? What if it goes green to the end? Do you have enough of everything to get 39 laps done?
Oh, yeah. I've got one more set of tires, and I got plenty of fuel. We're about to go green
if you have
right
to
here,
box,
so.
but could you go all the way to the end without having to pit? Well,
Yeah, Dean. I mean,
Yeah,
well, Dean, he
go.
probably would have to go in probably to maybe get a cold beer. Just kidding with you, Jeremy. We'll let you go. Jeremy, good luck, buddy.
Appreciate it, man.
He doesn't want to give you a strategy out on the air, and I can't blame him on that one.
I'd give out the strategy for the beer. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
All right, my friend.
we'll see what happens right here. Eddie Kurtz, obviously on the inside leading. Gardner on his outside. Jake Ellenson, Peyton Hubbard right there in that second row. Jamie Mullins sitting up here in the top 5 doing a pretty good job. Green flag is in the air. Kurtz is going to get away with a lead. Hubbard's going to try to follow it. Peyton Hubbard will go to second and see if he can try to reel in Andy Kurtz. Gardner's going to slip back to third. Jake Ellenson back there in fourth as Bontrager and Jamie Mullins try to battle for that top 5.
I forgot to completely mention at the moment too, our pole award. That's a Big Piece Barbecue man right here. That's Craig, and he's going for it too for now. So does he have the Big Fish Barbecue going for his truck? He's still in it to win it, remember. He's dropped a couple of places since the pole, but hey, it doesn't matter on lap 44. It matters 37 laps from now where you get all the barbecues.
I'll say this, they are getting tight right there between Mullins and Bontrager. They damn near door bang. They're almost fixing to turn him. Almost turned Mullins. Bontrager has to get out of the gas. He almost gets turned. Right behind him by George Jewell. Holy hell, Dave. Now the 3 wide back there is Hubbard trying to go to the inside of Eddie Kurtz for the lead.
He's trying to bring it, exactly. So good racing all around there. I think we were just having a little joke in the green room during the ad break, but look at Jeremy. He's like, 2's a party. Well, 2's a date night. 3's a party. Let's go. Jeremy up at a P2. Peyton's dropped it back down. So, sorry, that was the same thing before. I'm just making sure you all pay attention. Jake lurking in the background.
Yeah, I'm trying to pay attention with everything that I got right now because I'm telling you, it's not hard to do, honestly, Dean, because these guys putting on a hell of a show right here. Is Gardner able to slide up to the second spot? And obviously, I guess you could say, Dean, that's his nemesis up there, is Andy Kurtz, because Kurtz has really, I guess you could say, give Gardner a fit, much less on the Thursday night series. He's really give all the guys, especially from last season with Veterans for Life ARCA series, he's really give them all a damn fit. Obviously, winning the championship, he won 8 races last season. So, I mean, a lot of these guys trying to figure out a way to maybe try to dethrone Andy Kurtz and try to stop the dominance. Gardner down to the inside. He's going to try to stop the dominance here tonight at Kentucky. Down on the inside, battle for the lead. It's Kurtz and Gardner off 2.
You called it. He called it, didn't he, during the brief interview that we had? But Andy Kurtz is not yielding anything yet on the high line, the 24. On the inside, the 42. Flip those numbers around and you have the same deal and you have the same result currently at the moment. Who's P1, Jacob?
You got me on that one because that actually kind of shocked me. Yeah, if you flip the numbers around, yeah, they're opposite. But there you see, Gardner down on the bottom side. Kurtz got him by that lap, but Gardner is going to get clear, all clear. New leader here at Kentucky. Jeremy Gardner got the lead with Premier Racing Setups right there on the deck lid, and he's going to try to scoot away with a little bit of Premier Racing Setups power, I guess you could say, as Kurt's trying to give chase. Hubbard back there sitting in third. Ellenson sitting in fourth. Top four trying to pull away. Mullins just trying to grasp whatever that he can right here, Dean, but it looks like the top four is trying to pull away and make it a battle for themselves.
You could see on your timing table to the left there, that's the gaps in the intervals. When you start seeing a second between cars, that's a huge, of course, on oval racing on tracks like this. So, short herd tracks, I wouldn't say short tracks, but there it is. Jake is starting to bring into there on Peyton Hubbard, and Andy Kurtz, of course, is still trying to get revenge, perhaps, there on Jeremy stealing that P1 away, but plenty of time to go. 31, Jacob. In the midfield, thankfully, at the moment, there is a bit of battles brewing at the back there, but for now, Jacob, I think all eyes are glued on the Top Gun spots.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this league could change hands at any point in time right now, Dean. Obviously, we've seen how good and how fast that Andy Kurtz is at number 24. We've seen how fast he can be. We've seen the moves that he can make. And he's very precise, he's very clean, and he's very, very fast. In a truck and an ARCA car, whichever one that you want to put it at. It really doesn't make a damn what he ends up driving, at least from what we've seen.
What about
Dean.
a tractor?
He's able to do it.
You reckon it'd be good on a tractor?
A tractor?
A tractor, yeah. How quick could you beat a tractor? Or a lawnmower? There you go. Anyway.
You know what? Well, to answer your question, Dean, I wouldn't be surprised that he could probably pull that off. It's like I said, anything that we've seen Andy Kurtz been able to drive, he's been able to dominate. He's been able to win. He's been able to at least get top fives, be consistent. And, you're seeing what could be, I guess you could say, a back-to-back champion on the Thursday night series right here with Andy Kurtz, depending on if they decide to run the trucks on Thursday nights. And, with ARCA on the Wednesday night series, it'd be interesting how they end up doing that. But, they've been running trucks all season. It'd be awesome to see some more truck racing here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network, especially on Thursday nights as you slide back here. See Brandon Wallace back there in the 99, obviously out there in the live chat as well, sitting in the 17th spot, trying to work his way up through the field. A couple of other drivers trying to work their way up as well. A couple of big movers, honestly. Kyle Plumstead started 18th. He's up to 10th. Another big mover is Chance Taylor, started 13th. He's up to 7th. But check out this battle back here. Just serious, just awesome battles, literally, Dean, all the way through the field.
George Gill's in a big battle at the moment, as I'm sure at the moment that the better of the Jules is in there biting her nails or something like that. Don't bite your nails. In anticipation to see if he can hold on at the moment, because he's on a massive attack there. You even got Logan, the number 26 machine. 2 for now, going for it. That is getting spicy and dicey there, Jacob. There's still a bit of action up the top of the timesheets, but for now you can just see him in your picture. But this is where it was getting into that little dingo nest that we were mentioning.
Ooh, I'm telling you right now, Sturgeon almost ended up turning Plumstead going into 3. He hit him right in the tailgate, and Plumstead was just able to just be lucky enough not just to spin the truck out. As you see the 47 back here, Zach Engel, started 9th. He's trying to work his way up to 13th. How about Mickey Isaac back here in the 81 right behind him? He started 23rd. He's worked his way up to 14th. And Sam Milliken, we talked about him, actually, never. We talked about him right at the start of the damn race. He started 26th, and he's all the way up to 15th, Dean. So 2 guys right here, literally, that started outside the top 20, have worked their way into contention to possibly get a top 10. And who knows what could happen, Dean. We may end up getting a couple of cautions right here at the end of this, and they may end up making top 5 or maybe even a win.
Well, this is brewing into a caution territory at the moment there. As is what Mickey was from, this state. This is his great state, my friend. So He's got the old Kentucky bourbon all tucked up into that 01 machine. So good on you, my friend.
He needs to pass it over to me at that point, Dean. If he's got it tucked up into that truck, he needs to pass it over to the redneck announcer. He'd be all tickled to death about that, to be honest with you.
We know that, and this is absolutely fact. Even back further, look at that. There is still a huge gap. It's like 3 massive battles on track occurring at the moment, and this is huge back here. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot, but yeah, you make a mistake here, you're in the fence.
Oh, Kaufman got seriously loose going into turn 3. It jacked them all up, and Hardy was having to get out of the gas. He almost ended up getting in the middle of it. You slide up there. You see Chance Taylor up here trying to make a move on, I believe that is Mike Browning, or maybe it's Mullins. They're all, I mean, there's so many battles going on all over the place. It's Mullins and it's Taylor. Both of them up here. Taylor able to get the advantage over Mullins. Here comes Bontrager. He's going to try to get a run coming off of turn 4. He may have something for Mullins at the start-finish line.
Well, we know he had the fastest lap. He had the Big Fish Barbecue fastest lap, but he's going to bring it around the outside. That's the 49 machine you're looking at. That's the Toyota there, and there's Jamie on the inside. Just don't forget about Mike Browning just lurking in the background, as in the chat there. Dougie was saying, you know, Jake is just lurking back, waiting for a good tire management at this track. Thank you very much for that, Doug, and good to see you back on your feet and back at home, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, all this battling that's been going on, Dean, as bad as I gotta say it, we have neglected to talk about the top 4. And what has the top 4 done? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. They have checked out right now. I mean, everybody that's back there pretty much from 5th on back, they're basically waiting on a caution, Dean. I mean, I'll be honest with you, because Gardner Kurtz, Hubbard, and Jake Ellenson, they have separated themselves by at least 2 seconds over Chance Taylor. You see the interval right there on the left side of your screen. You see everybody else back here, all this battling that's been going on. But there's just been so much action back here, Dean, that it's just, I mean, it's hard not to sit here and watch some seriously hard racing right here with Goat Locker. But with all that going on, the front 4 have checked out. So sorry that we didn't show the top 4 checking out. But I mean, look at this right here, Dean. I mean, this right here, this is a delight right here to a race fan, just seeing all this hard racing back here.
I love those liveries as well too, Jacob. And on top of it, yeah, well, you know, I point the camera where there's action. So, unfortunately, sometimes at the front of the field, and I do it all the time in road courses, you got a driver that's like, you know, 2-3 seconds up the road there. So most of the time, I never show the leader in the race because nobody even comes close. So, until the final dying stages of the race. But this is where the hot zone is. And Jacob, this is now the crunch sign, isn't it? 19 to go. When do you start thinking about box?
I don't think you do. Honestly, Dean, I mean, obviously, you know, we talked about it a while ago, give or take 47 to 50 laps, just give or take on fuel strategy. Well, they restarted with around, give or take, around 40 to go. So, yeah, they ain't pitting. There's no way in hell that any of these guys is going to pit right here. Each and every one of them, they're going to stay out all the way to the end. Should no caution come out. Caution comes out, that changes everything. Like I've said numerous times, Dean, a caution can change everything. And a lot can change right here for second. It's Hubbard. Might have caught Kurt sleeping a little bit coming off of 4. He's going to slide up to second. So Hubbard showing a little bit of muscle right here with Andy Kurtz. He's going to slide by him. Gardner's got about a second advantage right now over that battle for second. But we continue to slide back here and see some of this battling that's been going on back here with Logan Sturgeon back here in that 26. All the way up on the outside, Zach Angle back here. Also Mickey Isaac. I mean, look at him. I mean, damn, they need to throw it haymakers back here.
12-2, Jacob. But you start to see drivers start to slow down a little bit there, Jacob. I'm wondering if they're doing that tire management that was mentioned, because it could be very crucial at the end, isn't it? You save your tires, you gas it, hit the loud pedal, and go towards the end. That's going to be the key, isn't it, Jacob? It's a huge battle in your hornet's nests and the dingo lands of Kentucky. Sorry, Kentucky. In the bourbon lands of the good old-fashioned Kentucky.
I'll tell you what, we'll go with Dingo Lands. Hell, why not? We'll go with Dingo Lands, Bourbon Land. We'll go to the Bluegrass Land. Yeah, say that 3 times. Bluegrass Land here in Kentucky. We'll go with all 3 of them at this point. As you see Zach Angle up here trying to get him an advantage right here over Sturgeon. Sturgeon up into the wall. Dean, like you were talking about that tire management that you were talking about a second ago, I think what they've done, they didn't do no tire management. Some of these guys may have burnt their stuff up, and they're sliding back, and now they're just trying to hold on at least for about another 15, 14 laps now as they hit the line. So I think a lot of these guys may have burnt their stuff up, and right now they're just holding on, just trying to see if they can make it all the way to the end.
I'm wondering how popular the Captain Morgan machine here of Zach Engel is. Deep in the Bourbon State there, and he's throwing some rum all the way around this track as Mickey was throwing that machine around. You said that too, Jacob. I guess at this point some drivers may have just elected to go flat out and not worry about some tyre management. We don't really know. But we did hear out there, of course, from the Doug of Dougsters, saying that Jake is managing his tyres. I'll tell you one thing, Jake is starting to crawl in, Andy. And Peyton up the road. Where's Jeremy? I don't even see him. 1.5 seconds down the road, my friend. He's checked out to another state.
Yeah, Jeremy's gone. I mean, Jeremy's like 2 states over right now at this point. Dane, I mean, he obviously is 2.5. Probably got to get a little bit more right here off of Peyton Hubbard right here. We'll give you an idea, kind of give you a time frame, basically what they're running. Jeremy Gardner, he just hit a 32.4 to Peyton Hubbard's 32.4. So both of them matched lap times that time. Andy Kurtz hit a 32.4. Ellingson hit a 32.4. So nothing really changed right there, Dean, literally from the top 4. The only thing that really changed is everybody is basically checking out from 5th right now. That's the only thing that's different is that time is growing, at least from 1st all the way to 4th, all the way back to 5th. That's the only thing that's really changing right now.
And I'm just kind of keeping an eye on those little battles that are forming in the midfield because they were starting to spread out. Yeah, they're starting to spread out. That's going to be good for Jeremy because he'll be like, okay, got this one in the bag because there's huge gaps on track. But there's not so much around here, of course, because you have Mickey Isaac, the local hero, and I don't know, every time I can barely hear you there, Jacob, when you're speaking, because every time he goes around a corner, I hear the grandstand just absolutely go ballistic for this man in his home state. He's doing all right.
Yeah, I mean...
14 positions gained?
Yeah,
That's a fan boost.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, and it's not a bad deal, honestly, Dean. You know, obviously the local man, I mean, he's got a whiskey distillery just outside the racetrack. So Mickey Isaac, I mean, hell yeah. I mean, absolutely. Everybody's going to be cheering him on. Maybe for his racing, maybe for the distillery. We'll take it, you know, however we can. We may end up seeing Jake get a shot on the inside. Andy Kurtz all the way up to the top side. Ellison trying to get to the bottom. He's trying to get him a podium spot here tonight. And he's still on his inside as they hit the start-finish line.
Is this the tyre strategy that was mentioned? And we don't know because we haven't heard from Andy Kurtz, spotters, family members, or anything out there at the moment. Andy Kurtz is, you know, he knows what he's doing. He started in P3. He's in P3, so he hasn't gained anything, hasn't lost anything. The glass is half full and half empty with the Dew Point 24 machine. But the problem is, I don't know if he's going to have enough time to catch that man. You can see just lurking in the bug spot on the windscreen up the road there. That's Jeremy. I don't think Peyton can catch him up too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, Jeremy Gardner, I mean, he's straight up checking out right now. And Ellison back there just laying in the weeds. He's able to save him some tire. He's going to slide right by Andy Kurtz. So kick Jake Ellison up to 3rd. Kurtz will get kicked back to 4th. Gardner's gone. I mean, we'll just go ahead and just say it like this at this point, Dean. Jeremy Gardner is gone right now. Hubbard just trying to hold on and just pray that, you know, Jake has not saved enough to be able to try to catch him, because there you see right there, Jeremy Gardner, obviously,
give us a wave.
Now he's got it up to a point. Yeah, give us a wave going into turn 1, Jeremy. I mean, go for it, baby. He's not going to be able to do it, but Gardner got a big lead. We're going to slide back here. We're going to see Logan Sturgeon. I mean, we've already came back to this battle just a little bit. We may end up seeing a caution before this thing's all said and done between him and James Goshen. Almost tagged him in the left rear. 75 trying to see if he can get him a good run, try to get him a top 5. Slide up a little bit. You got Mickey Isaac up here. trying to get him some of George Jewell. Shasta, your man is trying to hold off Mickey Isaac. He's trying to hold off the Whiskey Man right here in Kentucky.
He's got the Greek Warrior at the moment. That's Alexander. So you be careful there, Mikey, at the moment. He's got 14 positions gained. He wants one more. But I'll tell you what, you don't want to talk to the missus out there. If you get past George, she'll have words of you. Then again, she's just cheering and loving the exciting racing and loving the green flag racing with 6 to go there, Jacob. This is getting good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, these guys have been putting on a hell of a show, literally from the green flag. I mean, Dean, you may have to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we've only had 2 cautions here with 80 laps at Kentucky. So these guys putting on a hell of a show, but 5 laps to go right here, Dean. Gardner got a big lead right here. It's kind of stalled out between him and Hubbard right now. Obviously, Ellison got up to 3rd. As you still see this battle right here between Joel and Isaac right now. Joel just trying to hold on for everything that he can. Isaac, as you mentioned, from 23rd up to 9th. 4 laps to go as Gardner just hit the line. I say this sucker's over with, barring a caution happening right here. This sucker's over with.
I mean, I'm telling. What is in this gas tank? Is that Kentucky powered, Mikey? On the inside there at George Jewell. Yes, is he running moonshine? I thought that was done and dusted and banned a while ago. But anyway, he's running something, my friend. He's got a crowd boost. I'll tell you what, George Jewell say, nah, not on my watch. 4 to go. So good battle. He's had to back off a little bit. I don't know if he's going to have the speed there. I know he's got the fuel in his gas tank, aka bourbon. But will it be enough? That's the question. 3 to go. Jeremy's is in there at the moment having a little cup of coffee. He's got his hand out the out the window, isn't it? Just, you know, probably got the dog in the back or the back of the truck, isn't it? Like they're going, let's go. We got it done.
Well, Dean, I tell you what I think Gardner basically has done from the start. I think what he has been able to do is way back in the old days, folks, you know, kind of give you maybe a little bit of a history lesson right here with 2 laps to go. As it looks like everything is probably going to shape out in Jeremy Gardner's favor. Basically, what got NASCAR started was moonshiners. It's what it ended up really getting everything started, Dean. You probably didn't know this, but moonshiners really got NASCAR started.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was moonshiners that tried to soup their cars up, and they tried to outrun the law, and then they end up saying, screw it, let's race these cars. And guess what? Jeremy Gardner has got the white flag. He's trying to outrun the law here tonight at Kentucky. Gardner has
Last
got
chance.
it out
Sorry, I
to
have to switch this one.
2.2. There we go.
Mikey could have got it done.
Isaac may try to get him. Isaac is going to get George Jewell going into turn 1, but we go back up to the lead. Jeremy Gardner running it, literally driving it like he stole it here tonight. Big Daddy in the 42, got the moonshine in the back. He's going to take it all the way to the house. He's going to win here tonight at Kentucky. Peyton Hubbard is going to come home second. Jake Ellison gets third with Andy Kurtz finishing in 4th. And Chance Taylor from 13th all the way up to 5th grabs him a top 5. What a race, what a finish here tonight with Goat Locker.
And I think it was the 2 cautions that you mentioned there. So your pick at the moment there, Jacob, that you had at the start, at the top of the hour. How did that pan out for you?
You got me. I'll say that.
Burn that out.
It took me an hour to try to figure it out, but Gardner obviously gonna burn it down. I was thinking Gardner anyway, Dean, but obviously I drive for Premier Racing Setup. It's kind of hard to pick him. You know, when we're officials, teammates, I guess you could say, as you see Gardner still burning it down right there on the front straightaway, and I think he's going to burn it down for quite some time. At least try to drop that back end down. That way maybe he can be legal with all that moonshine in the back of it. Gardner gets the win here tonight. Hubbard will get second. Third will go to Jake Ellison. We'll talk to those drivers here in just a little bit. Eddie Kurtz is going to come on 4th, and as I mentioned, Chance Taylor 13th all the way up to 5th. Good drive by the number 14 here this evening. Your pole sitter will end up finishing in 6th. Craig Bontrager will end up finishing 6th here tonight. Mike Browning, kind of a quiet night for him, honestly, Dane. He started 11th. He's going to end up finishing 7th here tonight, but he's still up 4 spots. The big one is the guy that's got the local distillery outside the damn racetrack, Mickey Isaac. Everybody cheering for the 0-1 here tonight. 23rd up to 8th. Big mover right there by Mickey Isaac here tonight. He gets him a top 10. George Joel, Shasta's man's going to end up finishing 9th. And Kyle Plumstead, pretty good run for him. He started 18th. He's worked his way all the way up to 10th. Zach Engel will end up finishing 11th. With James Gosham finishing in 12th. Chris Smith, kind of a quiet, or I guess you could say a quiet night. He started 25th. Ended up finishing 13th. 37 kind of caught us by surprise a little bit with all the action that we had. But still good drive by Chris Smith. Logan Sturgeon, we had a lot of action going on around him. He ends up finishing 14th. The biggest loser, at least from what I can see so far, is Timothy Wilms, who started 4th. He ends up finishing 15th. There was another big loser, but Wilms started 14th. He ends up finishing 15th. Sam Milliken, not too bad, up 10 spots, started 26th. He finishes 16th, with Brandon Wallace finishing in 17th. Tyler Justice will finish 18th. James Kaufman will get 19th. And Cameron Wessenberg will end up finishing 20th. Mark Hollifield will get 21st, with Jason Kraft 22nd. Justin Klein's going to get 23rd, with Rusty Rafferty will end up finishing 24th. Johnny Cofield end up getting into literally the 2 cautions that we saw here tonight. He's going to end up finishing in the 25th spot. Dustin Hardy will get 26th. This is another big loser, I guess you could say, Dean. J.B. Mullins, he started 8th. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but he started 8th. He ends up finishing 27th here this evening. John Anthony will get 28th. And another driver that I guess you could say was one of the big losers started 10th. He finished 29th, dead last on the field to 73, Jeremiah Holt. Folks, we're going to take just one more commercial break. And then, folks, we're going to be right back with your podium finishers and the roundup here for Goat Locker, the Truck Series, presented by Relevant here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Folks, welcome back to the Bluegrass State here tonight at Kentucky, obviously. Just a fantastic race right here with Goat Locker here this evening. And, folks, we're actually going to bring up, we're going to kind of flip it, folks, like we have sometimes here on the NASRA 360 Race Network. Going to bring up your third place finisher. That's going to be Jake Ellingson in the 27. Got it done here tonight, ends up getting third. And, Jake, tell us about your race, buddy.
Just staying patient and riding around the track behind Jeremy and Peyton and Andy for a while.
Well, Jake, obviously, you was able to jump up 3 spots, obviously, started 6th, got to 3rd. We were talking about, the tire wear, just how, I guess you could say abrasive that this surface is, but obviously it puts on a hell of a show. We talked about this also at the start of the race, where Kentucky's not on the NASCAR schedule, would you like to see it come back eventually down the road?
Oh hell yeah! There's a few tracks that I would like to see come back, and one that I would like to see not go. Auto Club being one of them. Hate to see that. Hate to see that track go. That always put on a good show. In real life and in iRacing. So, but yeah, I would love to see Kentucky come back. It's a great track.
It's got some it's got some door banging download vibes right here just a little bit. Jake, go ahead, Dean.
Sorry, I was going to say, once again, the car show you attended, of course, Jake, and participated to Goat Locker Racing, and you said it was a great event, right? And what has that brought to the league?
Oh, just more exposure to everything that GLR has to offer. Definitely from the nonprofit side of things. Definitely a lot of exposure into getting vets sim rigs and stuff like that. Jamie and Pat did a radio interview, which you could find on Facebook, Twitch, or Facebook X, whatever it's called, all the social media platforms. And yeah, I couldn't be more happy to be a part of an organization like GLR.
Yeah, get it on Jacob's podcast as well too. That if you get it on there. Thank you very much for that. There, over to you there, Jacob. Go Jake and Jacobs. I get confused on that one, but they're both fantastic drivers and fantastic community members.
Well, I mean, Dean, I think it kind of threw everybody off when he was on my podcast, the Door Banging Download on Spotify. I think it threw everybody off. They were like, damn, there's two Jakes on there. We can't even figure this one out. But, I mean, Jake, obviously you get third here tonight. Obviously, congratulations on that finish. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout-outs that you want to thank for making it possible?
Oh, definitely a lot of sponsors. Everything that the sponsors do for the league is amazing. So Blinken Tech, Invets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Veterans for Life, Right Now Roofing, Alexander's PC, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, Big Fish Barbecue, and this wouldn't be all possible if iRacing wasn't born and bred and sponsored GLR as well.
Jake Ellison gets third here tonight. Go ahead, Dean.
He didn't take his mother out there?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's it, Jake.
Son of a peach basket.
Nah, you're all right. You go stand in that corner
Damn.
and you think about what you did.
So I definitely got to thank Mom. You know, she always stands behind everything that me and my brother do, no matter what. And she does a lot of things for GLR behind the scenes too, with making certain things or anything that she can do, she'll help out. Got to thank my girlfriend Christy too, and all the kids for letting me have the time to enjoy this time with you guys.
You thinking your girlfriend last? Ooh, sleeping. So anyway, Jake, good job, my friend P3.
Yeah. I got a bad feeling Jake's going to end up being in the doghouse when this thing's all said and done, folks. But Jake Ellison gets third here tonight. Jake, obviously, congratulations on that. Appreciate your time, buddy, and we'll see you at RP next week.
All right, thank you.
Threw a little clap in there. I don't know which one of y'all did that.
I thought there was that was Wesley in here for a second, Jacob.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off there for a second, but obviously we'd love to hear the claps, and obviously we want to give a clap out there in the live chat. Second place right here with Peyton Hubbard, who got it done here tonight. Peyton, you come up one spot short, buddy. What more did you need to be able to try to catch Jeremy Gardner?
Probably just some laps on the track. I mean, it was just all night. Those him and Andy were lights out. I mean, I know even Jake got around me at one point too. That first run I just did not do very well on tires. This is actually the first time I've run this track. I had to buy it today, so I'm learning, trying to follow everybody's lines and see what they were doing. And I did a little bit better that last run. I was able to hold on to second. I think Jake was catching me a little bit at the end too. I could maybe a 10th every couple laps, but overall it was fun.
Had to buy the track day. Damn, if I had a dime for every time I had heard that
track and finished in P2. Wow.
Seriously, if I had a dime for every time I had heard that, really, I mean, I'm not making fun of you, Peyton. I'm just saying I've heard it numerous times. But Peyton, obviously, I mean, we haven't, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we haven't seen you a whole lot with Goat Locker. You're kind of one of the, I guess you could say, new guys coming in. How are we feeling already 4 races in right here with the summer series, at least with Goat Locker?
Yeah. Thanks to the Bandits guys for bringing this league up. I think I ran an ARCA race or 2 earlier in the season. When Andy was on that dominant streak he was doing. I ran a race with them, and this is my first season. I mean, I know it's like a little off-season thing, but I really like how the guys run up front. There's a lot of respect given there, and it's when you get into a league with the guys you've never raced with before, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly how they race, and you don't want to race them too hard, so it's definitely learning how everybody races and give and take and all that stuff. So it's been fun, and maybe here soon I'll get a win in here and it'll make it a little bit better.
Woo, boy, Peyton may be calling a shot right here, folks. Peyton Hubbard gets second here tonight at Kentucky. And Peyton, before we let you go, buddy, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank for making it possible here tonight?
Yeah, man. Again, all the Bandits team, the Sim Shop, we kind of have a thing with those guys. SM Racing, I know there was we keep that on the back of the truck. RP Repair is a good friend of mine, has a local repair shop. It's on the side of the truck. You can kind of see the logo there. He's on Facebook and Instagram at RP Repair. It's local to the North Carolina area, so I know it's kind of a niche thing there, but he does really great work there. Small business he's got going, so he helps out. And then of course my beautiful fiance for actually supporting this, and she sits and watches a lot of these, so hopefully tonight was a pretty good one for her to watch. So, and then I like to add Lincoln Tech, Invets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, and Big Fish Barbecue.
Dean, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I think we need to watch this man right here. Peyton Hubbard is fixing to be one of the big dogs right here in Goat Locker, and he's going to be a guy that these guys is going to have to contend with here in the very, very near future.
You're absolutely right there, Jacob, because, massive North Carolina, my friend, at the number 7 machine. He gained 3 positions too, and so he got a good qualifying position. Did everything right with those short amount of cautions that we had, and just delivered a good response. He couldn't quite get the job done towards the end there, but to get the P1. But as you said, stay. Look out for this young man. Invest, perhaps. Yes. I'd say. You're all young to me anyway. But yeah, Peyton, good job, and even thanked his wife, his girlfriend out there. So I mean, I
ain't that young, Dean. I ain't that young, baby. But obviously, Peyton gets second here tonight, buddy. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week when we go up north.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
That was Peyton Hubbard. Ends up getting second here tonight. But now, we got the man himself. We got Big Daddy in the house. Jeremy Gardner, your winner here tonight at Kentucky. And Jeremy, I mean, tell us about your race, buddy, because I mean, a hell of a battle. We talked to you right there, give or take around the mid-race report, and I mean, you literally said what you was going to do, and damn if you didn't.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make it easy. I was gonna let it ride there for a little bit and see if he'd burn his tires up, but Kentucky's kind of one of those tracks you got to jump out front, get the clean air when you can. Clean air is key at Kentucky. It's decently hard to pass at. So I did everything I could with 30 or 40 to go. So I was really expecting another Atlanta finish with me and Andy. He was fast all night. I would get him in 1 and 2. He'd get me in 3 and 4. I don't know if he burned his stuff up. He was saving fuel. I have no idea, but overall, man, that was a fun race. 2 cautions that entire race. This summer series group is definitely progressing in the right direction. A couple weeks ago, I mean, it was a little but now it's definitely progressing a lot better.
I mean, yeah, Jeremy, I mean, I was going to ask you about that because, I mean, everybody goes through, I guess you could say, growing pains. Everybody goes through certain things like that. I mean, hell, I mean, marriages, race leagues, hell, you name it. I mean, everybody goes through certain growing pains, but I mean, where do you see Goat Locker? We'll just go ahead and say like maybe 2 years. Where do you see Goat Locker as far as on iRacing? Where do you see that in 2 years?
Oh, we'll definitely be on top. I mean, this is definitely one of the best leagues I've ever been a part of. Actually, the best league I've been a part of. Jamie and Pat have done everything in their will to make this the best league possible on the sim and off the sim. So, word's going to get out there. I mean, everybody's going to realize this is probably the best league on iRacing. They do a lot for the veteran community. I mean, the racing community is great. I mean, this is just the summer series, and we're running pretty good races. I mean, just imagine when we get back to the official league, man. I mean, it's gonna be lights out. So I think they'll be there longer, a lot longer than 2 years.
Jeremy, it is the best. There is no.
Oh, absolutely.
No, there is no why, what, or as Master Yoda would say, there is no. There is. It is. And I'm curious about this one because we're rolling all the way at the moment. We're looking at a little bit of a slow motion replay, but after that last green flag race, that was back in lap 42. You're in P3 at this point, and you just managed to get the job done towards the end under green flag conditions. So you just feeling the premier race setups or something like that you had on that machine there to get the job done?
It's like I said earlier. I was gonna cruise. I was gonna save tires for a little bit, but like I said, Kentucky's one of those tracks you got to get clean air. Clean air is key at this track because it can be super hard to pass on. Once you're about 20 laps in, the tires just start to go out and you get super tight. So I had to make a move when I did. And once I got up front with the clean air, I was able to save my tires a little bit. So that was definitely key to the night of finishing where I did.
Well, Jeremy Gardner gets the win here tonight at Kentucky here on the NRA Power post-race interviews. Jeremy, I got to say this. Obviously, Goat Locker is great, but I got to say it. Don't take no offense to it, but I got to go with Nazareth because I say that they're the best one. It's just me because I called for them and I raced for them on Monday nights. But Jeremy gets the win here tonight. And Jeremy, before we let you go, buddy, you got any sponsors, any shout-outs that you want to thank?
Yep. First and foremost, always Jamie and Pat for putting on a great league. Like I said earlier, the best league. Lincoln Tech coming on this year. Iron Vets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. One of my sponsors, Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing for coming on board this year and supporting what Pat and Jamie are all about, and Big Fish Barbecue. Of course, y'all guys, y'all put on a hell of a broadcast every single week. And, of course, Premier Racing Setups. They definitely put out the best setup on the server. So come on over, see what we're about. You're guaranteed to win.
Jeremy Gardner gets it done here tonight in the Bluegrass State, gets the win. Jeremy, appreciate your time, and we'll see you when we go to IRP next week.
Yes, sir. We'll see you then.
Yeah, Jacob, you mentioned, didn't it? So 7th for in July of the 11th month, we're going to where again, Jacob?
Yes, absolutely. I forgot. Next week is going to be the 4th of July, folks. So I completely forgot about that. These guys are going to be off next week for the week of the 4th. And then the week after that, they're going to be back at it at Lucas Oil Raceway, which is obviously Indianapolis Raceway Park, IRP. Then they'll go to Texas. They go to Gateway. And then they'll go all the way to the Milwaukee Mile. And then after that, we're going to go big-time points racing. But, Dean, your closing thoughts and your recap here in the Bluegrass State, the Whiskey State of Kentucky.
Oh, well, I like my whiskey, my friend. It's been fantastic to share the booth with you again, my friend. And this was great racing, Goat Locker Racing. And the fans out there supporting it, thank you very much. The drivers getting the job done. I mean, gainers as well, too. Mickey, of course, as I mentioned, 15 positions gain at his home state. That's always feels good, doesn't it? To win at home. You know that, Jacob. I don't know if you've ever won at Talladega before, but to win, get it done. It's a community. The racing was amazing. What, 2-3 cautions at best, my friend? Strategy means that you have to take care of your tires, your boots, buy the missus some flowers when you come home and apologize for the 3 hours you've been spending racing. all that sort of stuff comes into play there, Jacob. So it's been good.
Yeah. I mean, Dean, I got a feeling that a lot of us has had to apologize to the missus or however you want to say it, you know, for all the racing that we did, and maybe even all the announcing we did. But hopefully they'll end up understanding eventually. I mean, folks, we saw a hell of a race here tonight. Obviously, 2 cautions, but they were just racing incidents, folks. I mean, there wasn't nothing really crazy. There wasn't really nothing either one of them could have really done in either caution. It was just one of those things where literally it happens. So, but other than that, it was a fantastic race, hard racing, clean racing. Saw some door banging, saw some slide jobs. But I mean, really, I think all the fans got what they wanted here tonight. So obviously, want to give shout outs to each and every one of the sponsors. Obviously, NRA Power, obviously relevant for being the title sponsor. Obviously, being a music group all the way up in Nashville, Tennessee, my neck of the woods, I guess you could say, Dean. Obviously, the Veterans for Life, Cruising Classics, Premier Racing Setups, all the sponsors that, I mean, just jump right here into Goat Locker. And, I mean, just a great, great organization to be a part of. Shout out to each and every single one of the drivers for putting on a hell of a show each and every week. The fans out there in the live chat for supporting family, friends, co-workers, however you want to. So appreciate it. I mean, just everybody, Dean, literally. I mean, it's like a damn family. Each and every one of them being a family and coming together and making something happen, especially for a good cause, especially for the veterans of our country. And obviously, the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, for letting us come out here, do our thing, enjoy some great racing, and just be ourselves. For the Australian, Dean Biggles, I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, saying, as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. And this old redneck's going to be going up north next week. We're going to Indiana, son. We're going to Lucas Oil Raceway Park. We're going to do some short track racing up north. You want to see that? The relevant Summer Truck Series here with Goat Locker. 2 weeks. Threw me off. 2 weeks after the 4th. 2 weeks. We're going to see you short track racing here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And folks, don't shoot each other with bottle rockets. Be safe and have a good time, and happy 4th early.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.